This is Spanish 1, Personal and Public Identity, Exam Voc 1 through 5. I'm going to say the following words and phrases in English then Spanish and then clap. And after I clap, I'd like you to repeat both the English and the Spanish with me, okay? Number 1, his name is Paco. Se llama Paco. His name is Paco. Se llama Paco. Number 2, her name is Ana. Se llama Ana. Her name is Ana. Se llama Ana. Number 3, he lives. Él vive. He lives. Él vive. She lives. Ella vive. She lives. Ella vive. Number 4, there is or there are. I. There is or there are. I. And number 5, he says or she says, dice. He says or she says, dice. Now, think back. Everybody say me llamo. Me llamo. Me llamo doesn't really mean my name is. It means I call myself. So me llamo Timoteo. I call myself Tim. Well, if you want to ask someone your age, what's your name, you say como te llamas, which literally means how yourself you call. Well, llamar's to call, so llama means he calls or she calls. So, me llamo is I call myself. Te llamas is you call yourself, and se llama is he calls himself or she calls herself. They say he calls himself Paco, get it? They say she calls herself Ana. So se llama Paco, he calls himself Paco. Se llama Ana, she calls herself Ana. Now, vive is lives. It can be he lives, she lives, it lives, you sir live, or you ma'am live. Now, everybody say Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. It's an Elvis song, and it means long live Las Vegas. And everybody say vivacious, vivacious, or vibrant, or vitality. Words that start with VIV mean life. They're from Latin. So vivo, I live, vive, he lives, or vive, she lives. Like he lives in a big house. Él vive en una casa grande. Or she lives in Missouri. Ella vive in Missouri. Now, everybody say I. I. I looks like hey, but it's pronounced I. I means there is or there are. I grew up in the country, and here's how I remember it. There is hay in the barn. There are bales of hay in the barn. There is hay in the barn. There are bales of hay in the barn. Also, Bart Simpson, when there's a problem, says, ay, caramba. And I guess one way to translate that would be, there is a problem, or ay, chihuahua, there is a crisis. Dice looks like dice. Listen and repeat. The dice says you're a winner. The dice says you're a winner. Or the dice says he's a loser. The dice says he's a loser. So dice means he says, she says, it says. All right. Let me give you time to review. I'm going to cover up the Spanish. I would like you guys to look at the English and say the Spanish equivalents out loud, or even better, look at the English and write the Spanish equivalents down. This has been Spanish 1 PPI Exam Voc 1 through 5.